What's going on, everyone? Shinigami Psycho here, back for some more of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We are meeting the Doctor from the end of the last episode. If you don't know what that's all about, please be sure to go and check it out. We've helped Dandelion establish a new cabaret in the city, and in return for his ambitions, somebody maimed his love interest. Tried to kill her. So now we're gonna go find out who and tear their head from their bodies. Because I actually really like Priscilla. She's a good character. And she sees things in Dandelion that only Geralt has ever seen before. Oh, God. So, let's do this.
Well then, ready for a stroll through the sewers?
Oh, yes indeed.
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued.
You lead.
Very well. Let's see what we have going on.
Preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up drowner victims can grow awfully tedious. Is it not better to nip the problem in the bud? I tried to get the temple guard to it. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Sounds like drowners. Yep, it's drowners. Not that that's really a big deal. Drowners are drowners. I'd rather fight drowners than people. Oh, and a water hag. Why did you draw the steel sword? Geralt. There we go. Button, eat the fried meat. More? I keep hoping that there's going to be more dialogue. More conversation between the doc and myself. Oh, pipe
Priscilla,
down.
How's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Trobritz. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
Yeah, somebody basically poured acid down her throat and absolutely destroyed her larynx and her vocal cords. She'll never sing again. She'll be lucky if she's able to talk. And that's why this feels like it's a concerted attack. Not so much a random mugging, but rather somebody did this intentionally.
Take the ladder.
To harm either her or Dandelion or both. Clearly they hurt her.
This is the place.
She'll never recover.
The quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
A dwarven woodcarver. Alright. That doesn't sound like...
Human. Wrong body type.
Yeah, but I'm going to look at it anyways, because I'm going to look at everything. That's kind of how this works.
Looks like necrophages got to this one. Let's keep looking.
But it is a dead witch hunter, so... Oh. How I do not feel sympathy. I don't like any of the witch hunters. I don't like anybody who commits acts of aggression, atrocities, all in the name of well, whatever they call it, it's bigotry and it's hate. If you're gonna dislike someone, you should dislike a person for who they are, not what they are.
This isn't it. Human. Wrong body type.
Yeah. Wrong body type. All wrong body type. Give me all the loots. And let's keep looking. I don't think I'll have quite as many jump cuts in this episode, because, well, I hope not. We'll have to wait and see. I'm only really cutting out all of the just mindless back and forth, go to this area, go to that area, run here, run there. Time that could be easily just kind of trimmed out, because there's no real substance to it. There we go, there's our dwarf.
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood?
Not a bit.
No.
Start the autopsy.
Where?
Head.
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Indeed. Let's examine the eye sockets.
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
A mage?
Murderer gouged out his eyes,
Alchemist?
then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Ouch. Why?
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
Indeed.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Wanted to keep him alive so he could continue suffering. Alright, let's look at the torso.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Alright.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
What else do you see in there, Doc? What else is missing? Oh, it's not what's missing.
From an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended
Really?
some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Some kind of calling card, perhaps?
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
If you say so.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Nothing I haven't
Once
smelled
fought a zoogle
before.
up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded.
Formaldehyde, an embalming fluid. Ancient Egyptians used it for mummification. Ew. How about his hands?
Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right?
He was
He was
tied.
tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him.
Question is why?
See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't
Indeed.
strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor.
Yeah, very. If you're going to be working with the dead, you've got to have a very morbid and dark sense of humor. It's almost mandatory.
His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
I'm glad they didn't actually show it. Alright.
Alright. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
Motive not sure. This was a punishment.
Sure of one thing. This was punishment.
Even the witch hunters don't engage in this kind of torture. What sin could possibly merit it?
Who knows?
Only the murderer knows that. And it's the key to finding him. Or her. It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
Oh.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine. Long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
And yet, he still looks younger than you. So, what's up with that?
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirates was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, your reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
Yeah, well,
You
we didn't
did,
exactly ask
but
permission.
They're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Much appreciated. Don't think I like the tone of the Reverend.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your
Why do
willfulness,
you
I
answer
also
to
wish
a
to see this
priest?
murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
I'm starting to gain a few questions about dear Doctor here.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the eternal fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his
Indeed.
case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women.
Of course he
Later,
did.
Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job.
For someone of his, ecumene. That might be the right word, but it might not. His particular tastes and talent? Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
You are very interesting, but I'm gonna let it go because you are helping me, and it's really none of my business.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet.
Fair
What
enough.
do you know?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Right then. Investigate the alley. Examine the place where the woodcarver died. And find Eustace, the corpse collector. I want to find Eustace first. He should be around here relatively close. Yeah, there. Eustace. Make that one my... Thank you. There we go. Let's make that one the active. Let's go talk to Eustace first. Less running that has to be done. Less skipping of things.
Can't go out in the streets no more.
At least before they didn't used to kill women.
Fall afoul of the king of beggars, and you'll get no mercy no matter who you are.
Everyone knows you're on your back, not
What happened here?
swords.
Monsters
Amateur.
must have run them down.
Right.
Swarms in the city now.
Just last eventide saw her go into the well.
That sort
Where
of
the hell
talking.
is... There he
Waved to
is.
me.
Best stay home.
Everybody...
Means
What?
bandits,
This is a...
robbers,
What the hell? This is a... Wait...
You Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue?
Fabian. Oh,
The
yeah,
wood...
I
The
remember.
woodsman. The
No eyes,
carpenter.
no art. One of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
Okay.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of her.
Some things are
Gotcha.
best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame?
Why do I get the feeling
Actually,
Reverend
never mind.
Nathaniel's the
Another thing
one
that's best
doing
left
it?
unsaid.
I have a feeling.
You search Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Kinda had that coming. Alright, look. Just... Give me the information. We'll
That
go our
all help
separate
for
ways.
coin? Fine. Have some. Now talk. What did you find on him?
Triflings, baubles, glass-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
She's not a wench.
Get out of my sight. Now.
Alright. So... Next... Yeah, I know, it keeps giving me that one. I want to go do the other one first. Examine the woodcarver's place. Oh, and a time to running we will go.
Anyone home?
Begone, or I'll sick me hounds on ye. Molly, Striga, come! in!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit, you stupid mutts, lie down! Come on. Come on in. Slowly now, lest they bite you.
Charming creatures. No, I don't care about the dogs, so who are you?
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
Okay.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Big
Damn it.
dogs.
I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family, or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Well, for one thing, did your brother have any reason why someone would want to kill him?
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one lass. Oh, you were a good dwarf, craftsman like no other. But you were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag," and other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her? This dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. Her pont said a fever took her.
That doesn't help me much.
Tell me what you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
'Twas like this. Had some work in Oxenfurt, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss him burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze, and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claimed not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleeding orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. What do they care about some dwarf?
Sounds to me like somebody lit your shop afire to cover the fact that this was no run-of-the-mill burglary. Tried to make it look like it was. Didn't do a very good job.
Fine, we've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.
Aye, beware the dogs. Can I pet the dogs? He's a cute doggy. Very big doggy. But I like doggies.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones.
Yeah, oh. See?
Bloodstains.
That's where Fabian lay when they found him.
Statues of the old gods. Heresy. Particularly of busty women. When we just learned that there's a certain somebody who used to like torturing women. But why would he kill an elf? Well, not an elf. Dwarf. That's easy. Racism.
Someone dragged something across the floor. Or dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly.
Probably the statues. Can we go inside? Door's locked.
Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian.
There might be a clue.
I'll open it for you if you want.
If it help, please. It might help me catch your brother's killer. It does look like there's still something out here. Concerned Citizen's Sermon. That's the third one of those I have found. Hold the phone. Inventory. Eternal Fire, Letter of Safe Conduct. Okay, no, that was that one quest. Script, blah, blah, blah. Concerned Citizen's Sermon. Remember, dear people, that a fire once lit cannot be stopped, that it consumes everything in its path and only ceases to rage once all has been turned to ash. Men cannot flee this element, and if they bow before it, if they let it into their hearts, they too turn to ash. Search your consciousness and live in accordance with the church's dictates before the time for penance has passed. He's a zealot. Remember, good people, that fire can be both a blessing and a curse. Fire can warm with its flames. Fire can prepare our nourishment. Fire can drive off the horrors of the dark, yet fire can also scorch, burn, and incinerate. That is why we must live in harmony with eternal fire and its commandments. Whosoever fails to heed its lesson, whoever lives in ignorance of it, whoever mocks it, the same shall lose his life in its flames. Take my counsel to heart, good people, or you will reap the consequences of your deeds. Concerned citizen. I don't think a concerned citizen would be talking like someone of a religious hierarchy. Anybody else find this awkwardly suspicious? Again, I found 3 notes that were marked sermon from a concerned citizen, and I'm guessing 2 of them must have been the same message, but it's all kind of pointing.
More blood stains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless somebody got rid of the blood, left a few stains behind.
Okay.
Formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Okay, we'll loot that just because. Okay, we gotta follow the formaldehyde
Furniture got
smell.
knocked over. This looks like it was kicked.
Quest updated. Investigate the alley where Priscilla. Okay, so we're pretty much done in here then. This is, again, not what I had intended on. When I started this quest, I was hoping it was a simple run a couple errands, maybe see another play, and be on our way. I hate it when I'm wrong.
Eyes.
I'm wrong a lot.
Humanoid. Completely rotten. Nothing here.
Ew. Nothing here. He just found a pair of rotting human eyes. Humanoid. But there's nothing here.
Looks like
Okay,
rain.
Geralt. Whatever you say, let's go see where Priscilla got assaulted. Wait, what?
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim. Told me to say the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can.
Damn it!
Awful pale.
I guess we'll talk to the coroner. Wait, what are you doing hanging out here of all places? Oh hey, look at that. Another one.
Grab him!
Sis, that him.
How am I to know? Watch him, see what he does.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A brazier. This time of year?
Come again?
No!
You, want to rethink that?
No!
Get lost. Here, let me give you a push. Wait, why are...
No! Bloody hell.
You idiots wanted to pick a fight with me, and now you're gonna scream and carry on because I chose to defend myself. Let me make this clear. I don't play games.
Think you'll gut me too, huh? Up your ass, deviant! Hoes can fight back! Ugh!
Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you doing here?
Getting vengeance. Well, why are you staring? Have you not heard killers always return to the scene of their crime? Me and my brothers are waiting here to give him a warm welcome. For Priscilla. Almost did her in, the whole son.
I know. Here to look for clues and find anyone who might know something.
Fear I can't help you much. But I can tell you what I know.
How about you can start with why it is you assaulted me?
You and Priscilla friends?
Friends? Nah. But she saw more than a stupid whore in me. Treated me with respect. It mattered. I was looking to give up whoring. Pick up a decent trade. But none would take me. Not as a washerwoman, nor a servant, nor a cook. Felt like a leper, I did. But Priscilla, she was different. Agreed to put me in her play, you see. Lots of the other actors, they were afraid on account of her jesting about the eternal fire. Whistling Wendy on stage, can you imagine it? Well, dream's gone now. I'm back to working street corners.
Sorry to hear that.
You could do worse as work goes. Or so I tell myself.
Well, just because Priscilla... Go talk to Dandelion. Let him know that Priscilla offered you a job. He might honor the agreement.
Priscilla wasn't the sole victim. You aware of that?
Oh, dearie. Course I was. This didn't start yesterday. Others have died like this before. Beggars, street girls, orphans. But who'd have a drama concern about them? Human rubbish. It's what the guards call us.
Recall any names?
They didn't have proper ones. Baldy, curly, buns. That's what folk called them. No friends, no families. Their bodies were burned long ago.
Aye, by someone who possibly wanted to get rid of the evidence before anybody could put puzzle pieces together. Hence why he was kind of pissed when we showed up on the doorstep unannounced.
Take care now. I gotta look around some more. Appreciate it if you didn't disturb me.
Naturally. We'll stand aside, behave. But do tell us if you find anything else here.
Well, considering I've already cut down 3 of your mates.
Oh, my head's ringing. Watch it.
A brazier. This time of year? I know that smell. Formaldehyde.
Awful.
Yep. Right outside.
Man's footprint. The murderer's, maybe. Weight on his heel. Human. Took a step back. Priscilla's.
Okay, so this was Priscilla's place. Oh, I didn't realize I was... I mean... I didn't realize that this is where that was. I thought I was already at the coroner's place again. But there, we investigated. Everything's done. Nothing else to do here. Let's go talk to the coroner again, because apparently there's been yet another murder victim. They seem to be falling like flies right now.
Geralt, right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you, especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter, and I know who you are,
oh, he's
what
not
drives
gone.
you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
All right.
By the way, you and Von Gratz don't exactly get along. Why is that?
I had him sent to prison. You see, Joachim led the student protests in 1242, a senseless and brutal revolt. People were dying, which, those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning. Their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. So I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
Okay. Look a little young to be the teacher. Yeah, I noticed that.
How old's Von Gratz? 50, 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of embalming fluids. In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Amusing, is it not?
If you say so, I'm not convinced.
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenfurt Academy. Found this morning at his home on a catafalque made of
another
his books.
male.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Aha!
Mortal sin in Novigrad.
That's why he was killed. He dared speak against the church.
Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and capricious. He stormed in here once, grabbed a scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Implicitly.
Let's start.
Gladly. The wounds conform to the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde. Next, the killer removed the eyes, placed burning coals in the sockets, then opened the rib cage and... What's this? A parchment. Made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim.
Probably
Patricia Vegelbud.
carved.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with... Gotta find her, now.
Yeah. Carved from the skin of the last victim. Okay. This is heating up, but I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. So, hopefully in the next episode we will finish unraveling this murder mystery and bring justice to whoever is killing people. And hopefully we'll get there before Madame Vegelbud meets her untimely fate. So, as always, let me know what you think about the episode in the comments down below. This one, I don't know if it's going to have as many jump cuts as the last episode. We'll find out. A lot happened. A lot more than I expected. Let me know what you think about it, and where you think it's going to go. And what do you think about my hypothesis that it's actually the dear Reverend in charge of the morgue? I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you enjoy this episode, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe so you can catch the next episode and we can finish unraveling this mystery together. Thanks everybody for watching. I will see you next time. Thank you all for watching my video. If you liked it, please remember to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for future content. If you didn't like the video, feel free to hit that thumbs down and let me know in the comment section how I can improve on future videos. Also, please take a moment to consider hitting the link in the description and supporting me on Patreon, where you will find all of my most recent videos available for you before they arrive on YouTube, as well as some exclusive patron-only content for you to enjoy. Thank you again, and I will see you all in the next video.